Hello and welcome to another episode of the MTG Arena Run. Today we're going to be taking a look at the last of the monocolored decks that you get from right after the tutorial. This one's the blue Arcane Inventions deck, so this one isn't exactly mono blue as much as it is blue plus artifacts. I guess our true mono blue deck could be built using the cards from Dominaria and Corn 2019 and some stuff from Ixalan, but let's take a quick look at this one, see how it goes. So you can see the artifact sub-team is quite clear, especially when our payoff is Gearsmith Prodigy. One, not quite impressive on its own, but a 2/2 for 1 mana is... sometimes you do get this in blue. The most well-known one was the Phantom Bear, I think. Basically, it was a bear illusion that if it was targeted by a spell or an ability, it just went to the graveyard, gone poof. So we got that one. We also have a single copy of Diamond Mare. You're probably gonna choose blue. Can't choose colorless because colorless is not a color. Got 4 copies of Field Creeper. Not the greatest. It's an artifact, sure, but I think this is one of the few things we're gonna change up. Got 2 copies of Disperse. There's something better in Dominaria we're gonna replace it with, but we'll leave it as is for now. Single copy of Aven Windmage. I kinda wish this had prowess. Then we would be able to, we won't be completely dependent on instant and sorceries. As it is, this one, it just gets the buff from instant and sorcery, so maybe not that great or maybe decent, we'll see. Got 3 copies of Aviation Pioneer, so comes with a token, artifact token, so that's one way to push it out. 1 copy of Psymaster Topterist. This is also another of our payoffs. Basically, cast an artifact spell, you get a 1/1 colorless artifact. If you need to, you can pitch 2 artifacts to draw a card. Kind of similar to Fungal Plots in green. Note that we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 artifact spells. Realistically, about 9. So we're gonna... At the most, we'll get 10 out of this, so we'll probably need to find better payoffs for the better ways to trigger this and better things to sacrifice to this. So 1 copy of Tempest Djinn. I guess it's okay considering we're running 25 islands, but I don't really like this one. There is another Djinn I'd like better. We'll get to that later. 2 copies of Befuddle buys us some time. There is a better enchantment than there is a better way to remove it. Got 3 copies of Water Knot, so that's a better way to remove stuff for the time being. Again, there is a better option than this. 2 copies of Divination, single copy of Arcane Encyclopedia. Oh, so we actually have 11. Okay, so 11, realistically 10. 2 copies of Scholar of the Stars, so if we control an artifact, we get to draw cards. Not bad. 2 copies of Snapping Drake. This one flies rather than replaces itself. 2 copies of Gilded Sentinel. Single Air Elemental, probably the most replaceable card. 2 copies of Gearsmith Guardian, so 5/5 for 5 with some added vulnerability. Kinda okay, I guess. Riddle Master Sphinx, this one's probably from the Welcome deck if I'm not mistaken. So when it enters the battlefield, bounce a creature an opponent controls, so this one's okay. So this one's quite decent. Again, Zahid Djinn of the Lamp. This one's the better one. So you kind of want to play this at turn 4. Actually, it's a very good follow-up to Aviation Pioneer. So actually, this is, if there's anyone where I want to beef up, I want to put more Zahids. And curiously enough, while I was taking a look over while I was looking over what I got in blue. Oh, I actually didn't realize I had 4 copies of Psy also. So I had 4 copies of Psy. Probably not going to put all 4, but I also have 4. I also happen to have 4 copies of, let's see, letter Z. Oh wait, Zahid is 6 mana. Okay, I'm thinking of it as 4. Yeah, 4 copies of Zahid also. So this is actually one way to go around it. If we're ever going to do the non-rotational build, definitely Torrential Gearhulk comes in. Sphinx of Magosi, kind of... Well, this one's interesting. This is probably a better 6-drop than definitely better than Meteor Golem at this point. So we see a bunch of better options, but we have to consider if we ever go aim for a lot of our top end cards, pretty much this entire SWAT is going to become control elements. So that's one thing to think of. The alternative is if we're going to do a go wide plan, which is not quite normal for blue. We need to find ways to clear the board. So Time of Ice is a good option. We kind of want cards like this is going to end up becoming a Wizards deck, except that a lot of our cards are actually Artificers. So some bunch of things to think through. Sleep is a decent way to go around things, I suppose. But this is a sad one where most of the good payoff cards are actually in Kaladesh, and I'm not really so sure on how I'm going to rebuild this for a rotation safe version. Anyway, let's play around this deck, see how things go. So let's pick singletons up. So let's do a quick constructed run. So at least this one just costs 500. We're not gonna get our... I sincerely doubt we're gonna get our gold back. But let's see how far we can actually go with this one. So this is the last one we're gonna run. After this one, we'll probably start doing the 2-color decks. I still have to get a few more. And actually, I may realize that there are actually 2 decks from the old batch I have to do. I've been mentioning the green-white tokens deck, but I forgot all about the green-blue merfolk deck. And interesting enough, they don't show... Are they not showing the level anymore, or something up? Because I know I saw my level. I played a few free play games earlier. This is not a keepable hand. Sure, we get to cycle draw cards, but that's a very good way to die. So thankfully our opponent also... Okay, so we got some better options here. So we can bounce something turn 2, we can lock it down turn 3. We're probably never going to cast Meteor Golem. Let's see what we get off the scry. Opponent likes what he gets. I don't like what we get. Watch me scry this to the bottom and draw three islands in a row. Okay, at least it's not that bad. So we're probably going to lose this. Well, the pessimist in me says we're going to lose this game quite quickly. We'll see. That depends what our opponent drops. Yeah, we're going to lose this game quite quickly. Well, maybe not so much. We might be able to buy some time. So pass the turn now. So... Okay, let's see what he does. He's probably going to attack first. So... I could bounce him just to get him to replay it, so that's actually quite okay. So let's do that. So he still gets his energy. I could have done it prior, but I didn't like the idea of him just casting it main phase again. So now 3 mana. So I started drawing all the lands. Maybe I should have kept the Sphinx on top. So I'm gonna lock on the Siphoner, but he's still gonna get to draw a card. So at least we'll get a Gilded Sentinel down. Not that I'm impressed with it. So we're fighting against a definitely tuned mono black deck. Opponent's kind of stranded, so let's see how far these Gilded Sentinels will go. Probably gonna get cast on it. Okay, maybe not. Opponent probably has to play something. Okay, Gifted Aetherborn. Okay, okay, so I'm gonna just trade right now. I really wish I kept the Sphinx on top now. Okay, he's not gonna trade, so let's give him something to trade with. The irony is that this might be one of the first few games where I actually cast the Meteor Golem. I'm not happy with this one. And our opponent's hand is pretty much unstranded at this point. Okay, Gonti, Lord of Luxury. This is so Death Touch. He's gonna. So you're gonna swing with these two. There's no point holding them back. At least I put the Sphinx at the. Well, I would have drawn anyway. I wonder what he took. So we got another Water Knot. So I'm gonna swing first. If I'm gonna Water Knot something, it's probably the Gifted Aetherborn, if ever. He's gonna sacrifice the Gonti? Okay, that's actually quite fine. I'm never gonna know what he exiled though, but that's okay. So I'm actually hoping to draw a land now. Of all the things I could possibly hope for. I actually do have an idea what to do with this one, but at least okay, so ironically I now have not. Well, he's gonna play a land. Tempest Jin, sure, why not? Probably gonna die next turn. I'm kind of bashing the card draw earlier. But we do need card draw. We just need better card draw. Arch of Vraska is definitely gonna come in here. What other card? Blue is definitely a king of card draw spells. It's just a matter of choosing the right ones. We could go to well, that's the thing. Most of the okay, Chupacabra. So yeah, we're gonna lose the Tempest Jin. We could at least hit it back with Meteor Golem if we actually drew it. So, ladies and gentlemen, after four other monocolor decks that feature this card, we finally get to cast Meteor Golem. But I don't. I still prefer having Tempest Jin. Can't complain. Well, I'll actually start complaining later. Well, for some reason our opponent still has a full grip. Has still been playing one card at a time. Another Chupacabra. Yep. So we're living off the top of the deck. I wouldn't be surprised if our opponent had two more of these guys. So at least we got an Aviation Pioneer. So it's gonna take him, and we're gonna just Water Knot this guy. So we're definitely looking for better ways to leverage this. Sleep and Time of Ice is actually a decent combo we could do, I guess. The problem is that I guess you could say this is a problem with blue altogether. It's an identity issue. Because traditionally blue has simply just been the control deck. Control, 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 drop a big threat and just keep on holding on to the control. Nowadays, well, blue still has it and it still has most of the key elements, but a lot of the good stuff tends to be tied in with other colors. That's why most of control decks now are blue-black or blue-white. The really good stuff is... Oh, thank goodness he just got the Siphoner. And now we're getting flooded on land. So this is going to be a very quick concede soon. Let's see what our opponent has. I might actually just try to play this through. Our opponent took a while just to get his lands back up, so we should at least give him the benefit. But in terms of value creatures, we don't have the best ones. Like, okay, the value of this one is just an additional body, and her own body is as in her own stats, they're not that great to begin with either. So yeah, we're yep. Deals combat damage. Glint Sleep Siphoner. Yep. Our opponent was able to empty out his deck. We weren't, and Yeah, I'm gonna concede here at this point. Again, this is probably gonna be a very quick video. Thing is, I'm not too convinced about this one. This is probably one of those decks that I should have done a quick run prior and just fixed it right off the bat. It actually looked quite decent on paper. Unlike the red deck, which really did not look great on paper. I guess this is probably something new with quick constructed. I'm actually curious. I probably should go over the reasoning why they're not show. Okay, so this is a better one. We still get placed at turn 3, but at least we still have a bunch of things to do. We're gonna test out Befuddle a bit. Most of the time, though, Befuddle is just simply going to be a fog of sorts. I'm guessing what this deck wants is a lot of legendary creatures. We do have decent options on that end. Like we're gonna generate a lot of 1/1s and 1/2s and whatnot. So Tetsuko Omizawa's could be a decent one. Baral's also gonna be a decent one. Let's see. No, I'm just gonna play my own Aviation Pioneer. Let's see if our opponent actually has a counter spell. Kind of walked into it, but we have to trigger it at one point or another. Okay. So we do have the turn 4 dream of going Zahid, but we have to be very careful what our opponent taps. He's kind of signaled that he has something, so we're going to play it kind of safe. So I'm not going to cast Zahid this turn. I could just use Befuddle, some sort of cycling. Realistically, I kind of want to encourage our opponent to cast something, so I'm going to just cast Divination. Let's see if he counters this one. Looking at this, I already missed the instant speed ones, even if they cost 4 mana. We're gonna miss some Glimmer of Genius. We're gonna miss Hieroglyphic Illumination. So that's exactly what our opponent's gonna cast, I suspect. Okay, he's casting Glimmer. So also, one thing to note is a lot of our removal is not so great. These enchantments are very efficient, but unlike the white ones, where it exiles it and just brings it back when the enchantment's gone, the creature is still on the board, so any activated abilities are relevant. Like looking at our opponent's colors here, I'm suspecting Nicol Bolas. Oh no. Okay, that's interesting. So let's go into combat. Again, I'm not going to... Really curious what our opponent has or doesn't have. So I'm just going to cast Tempest. I'm going to cast Tempest Jin, give him something to think about. He's definitely going to counter this. Or just kill it after letting it resolve. Okay, Spell Swindle. So at least I think that at least I didn't commit Zahid. That only gave him 3 treasure tokens. I actually saw a very interesting deck the other day. It had a lot of colors for some reason, but the key colors were black and red. The red was just for Trove of Temptation, so it generated a treasure token every turn, and Revel in Riches. So he was just running it for. So he was really aiming to just get 10 treasure tokens. He had a bit of blue, so he had ways to generate treasure that way. He had some white to control the board. And I'm not going to be able to answer this with anything I have. I really need to disperse. He's gonna sell cards from the top of my library. He got my Snapping Drake, and he can cast it. Let's see. He can deal 7 damage, so Zahid is gonna die. Okay, we can play Gearsmith Guardian. That's also gonna die. I kind of need to draw cards, so I'm going to just attack Nicol Bolas for what it's worth. Though I sincere. So he's gonna block with something with. So he's gonna block something with Snapping Drake. So I'm gonna just befuddle the Snapping Drake. So this illustrates that, yeah, I saved my creature, but I didn't really do much of anything else. And I still did not draw a land. So I at least have a Gearsmith Prodigy, but why do I keep running? Why do I keep running into these decks? Well, actually, to be fair, that is the purpose. See if there's any hope for these decks to run against these major decks. And my point is I even Essence Cat. Oh well. So at least I know if I ever do draw this Spurs, it's gonna take a while for our opponent to recast Nicol Bolas. And he dumped even another Essence Scatter, so he's not gonna be playing around that. I suspect the next thing he's gonna do is just exile 2 cards from my hand, so I'm probably gonna ditch the Encyclopedia and okay, I'm still gonna go off the top. That's the card I needed. He probably could just bounce my top. Yeah, he's gonna just bounce a token. So we never got to cast Zahid because I misread his. Well, actually, I didn't misread his deck. He did have Essence Scatters. And he's got Treasure Map. So yeah. So one way to look at this is, if you note the mono black deck, we had some we had decent runs with it. The mono red deck kind of got a little bit. Well, we did have to tweak it beforehand, so that didn't count. The mono green red deck was okay. The mono white deck actually performed better than I assumed it would. So this one is probably a case where, yeah, this deck was not quite well built. And yeah, we're going to have to start water knotting. I won't get any value from casting Scholar anymore. I could just cast Gearsmith Guardian for what it's worth, only to get it countered again. Yep, he's looking at his hand. Okay. Yeah, let's just concede that this. Yeah, I'm sorry that we're kind of concede happy at this point, but I'm just gonna concede this one. So I might actually just send this through another. I might actually just send this through a few regular free play games just to show that it kind of works. But honestly, I don't know if it really will. Again, we see the same issue that this deck had with some of the other decks. Mana costs all over the place. It's basically an A plus B deck. So you need both artifacts and things that benefit you from having artifacts. Now, this isn't like Alara or Mirrodin, or what other set had colored artifacts? No, basically those two. So it doesn't have the it doesn't have those payoffs. So well, I guess I'll run this one. We got turn 2 into a turn 3, so not too bad. Actually, let's make that turn 1 into a turn 2 into a turn 3. I might try to explore, see if there's any hope for the lower end side, but it's quite unlikely. We might have a 1 into a 3 into a 4. So not so great, but we might have that curve. Now we just need to hope that the field creeper stays alive. I'm probably never gonna attack with this. Winding Constrictor. Yeah, I'm not gonna attack with either. I could just disperse in Gearsmith Prodigy, but I'm gonna play Tempest Djinn. Not attack. So far, it's looking like Sultai, so I'm expecting a Muldrota somewhere in the future. Okay, so far it's just Llanowar Elves. Jade Light Ranger. Okay, so it's just +1/+1 counter so far. And he got 2 lands off it, so not too bad. So we're gonna use the... Oh, wait, so that's not how it works. Submit. So we're gonna try to do some beatdown in the air. This is probably the best this deck is ever gonna get, so we're gonna try to make it work. Note we only have 1 Zahid, so I can kind of let the field creeper die. No, it'd be a shame. Adana's Climb. So our opponent... Okay, and Walking Ballista, X equals 2, so he can snipe the field creeper. In fact, he can make some... Oh, in fact, he managed to make it... He can snipe Tempest Djinn, actually. So... I'm gonna bounce it in response. So he won't get the benefit of Hadana's Climb anymore. He's probably gonna try to snipe Tempest Djinn. So I probably should attack first. But, well, it does get rid of the Walking Ballista altogether, so not too bad. So I'm probably gonna just cast the Gearsmith Prodigy anyway. No need to cycle it. I'm probably... Yeah, I'm gonna just cast the Gearsmith Prodigy. Put something on the board. Note that these guys are gonna get worse should Field Creeper get taken out, so... Another reason... And with 1 toughness, we just saw Walking Ballista. Thankfully, there was a better target. Though I don't know how thankful I would be on that one. But you kind of get the idea that, yeah, this one is not the artifact creature I'm looking for. In fact, I think on the 2-drop slot, I might want non-creature artifacts. So that would pretty much mean that if we do a mono blue artifacts deck, it's really control elements on the very beginning. So opponent gets a 3/3, but I'm not gonna get past Zahid. We will lose the Field Creeper. Okay, we'll let that resolve. Okay. We'll let him block. We're gonna befuddle so that... Now we'll see if he actually... Now, his best play is not to do anything in response. So, yep. That kind of did a whole lot of nothing. So now we know that... So our opponent can't exactly just keep pinging our... Can't exactly just go off pinging our guys anymore. But we can't exactly swing into attack anymore either. We kind of need something like Disperse again. So another vulnerability is that, yeah, our removal is kind of bad. Well, actually not so bad. We could just Water Knot this. He will end up sacking a bunch of stuff. But considering we lost one of our win conditions and we're in our second win conditions kind of being held back, we are not in a great position. Our opponent technically has a better board than we do. No point swinging with these guys unless I have some way to tap the board out, which I don't. Yeah, there's a bunch. I would say there's a bunch of oversights to the deck. So if we're gonna put in control elements here, we're definitely gonna put in as many sleeps as we can. We're gonna need some way to generate mana early, so probably one copy of Mox Amber. Power Stone shards are coming way too late. Is there? I don't know what our opponent's doing at this point. He just used up his timeout. Something could be going on his side of the world. And I think I figured the solution. I figured out the solution to how do I reference people. I'm just gonna refer to them based on their avatar. So he. So if I see Chandra, I'm gonna say she. Even if your handle happens to be the dude or whatnot. Karn gets referred to as he, so I can kind of get away with it. At least he gets referred to by other people. He doesn't mind. He never complained. I'm about to start complaining, so I'm definitely gonna just pass. At this point, our opponent already burned the timeout and already auto passed once. If our opponent really disconnected or something, I want to see how this gonna be our first look on how the new version of the client handles this. Tough too, considering that our opponent's in the winning position. So yeah, we're definitely gonna put in sleep. Blink of an Eye is gonna replace Disperse. Simply better at this point. We're gonna need our 3-drops are gonna be creatures that bounce creatures. So okay, so we got one win, though I wouldn't dare say it's a deserved win. I really hope it's just a server disconnect for Raul and not something more diabolical or whatnot. So let's just play keep going, trudging on. We could explore there is a way to explore the artifact sub-team. It's probably gonna revolve around mechanized production and generate a lot of treasure tokens. We can use Sailor of Means for that. Spell Swindle, yeah, kinda okay. Though that one kinda lends more to blue-black because mechanized production it's kind of fragile as a win condition. You wanna put it on a non-creature artifact, but we're in a world where we still have a braid. Okay, so we got again, we kind of have the dream team opening, so 1 into 2 into 3. Hopefully we can get another land to get this at 4 and Field Creeper doesn't die. So I don't know, is the game compensating for the fact that it knows we're playing its stock deck and we're gonna criticize it so heavily if it keeps losing? I don't know. Paragraph Ghoul, so we will get 1 turn. So we could water not something on turn 3. We're going to have to keep Field Creeper alive at all costs, so this is just going to be a regular trade. So this one only taps down creatures. Okay, so our opponent probably is playing a stock mono black deck. I will play Aven Wind Mage. I will trade the Gearsmith Prodigy. So I'm greedy keeping Field Creeper alive at all costs. Opponent probably suspects that, but hasn't done anything about it yet. So we're gonna get Zahid on turn. No blocks. We're gonna get Zahid on turn 4. It'll probably get killed next turn. So I might as well get it out now. Then just roll with Aven Wind Mage. Now this is where if opponent plays Death Baron, it gets embarrassing. So okay, so we're playing against the stock mono black deck. Okay, I'm trying to remember, what does it have on turn 1? I could actually tab out right now just to go research, but I sincerely doubt he Fatal Push will not kill it at least. So yeah, so that's out of the board. It's gonna generate tokens, so I'm just gonna swing with these two. We're gonna race. Technically, I'm kind of winning this race, though it's kind of dependent what our opponent has in hand. We've all been hitting our land drops so far. Hired Blade. Put a cat. So he knows we're racing. So 7, 8, 9. Oh, I think we win this one. Well, it depends on what this is. So this is why you have to be careful how you have to be cognizant of the board state. So that one was, I wouldn't say careless on our opponent's part. I probably would have done the same thing also. So it's okay. We got another copy of Angrat and got Land Storm. So I have to say that the decks they're giving out are much better now. If I haven't mentioned it before, having a check land in each of these decks is one way to improve the mana base significantly. It also just so happens that it's the one time where all 10 check lands are both standard, legal, and not about to rotate out. So actually that's interesting too, because when we get to the next rotation, because Guilds of Ravnica is the last set for this year, half the shocklands are going to rotate out. Okay, so I'm going to keep this one. Not the most outstanding play, unless we get turn 1 Gearsmith. Oh, okay. So we could get turn 2 Diamond Mare, gain turn 3 Aviation Pioneer, gain a life. Turn 4 Scholar of Stars, so at least we'll get some card draw, but I have no idea what our opponent's playing right now. I'm actually gonna hold back. I'm expecting Pouncing Cheetah. Actually, if you think of it, if our opponent actually just held back the Hired Blade, it wouldn't have been hit by Water Knot. Okay, so it's got Vinemare, so we definitely are racing. So I guess Scholar of Stars to draw a card. So we're getting some payoff back. As it is, I think we're going to end up just trading the Gearsmith Guardian. Or we're going to see... Blanchwood Armor on Vinemare. And we're going to have to start chump blocking. So I need to hold up 9 powers worth. Oh, we even had the Rabbit Bite. Okay, so I'll take the damage for now. So I have to pass on damage. Submit. I'm gonna attack with Scholar. I'm gonna just sacrifice the Aviation Pioneer. Next turn we're going to... So we're gonna try to see if this one can raise the... yikes, the answer is I don't think so. We're kind of looking for a Dispersed to at least answer this guy. Water Knot's okay too. Can play Sai into Arcane Encyclopedia, so that will give us a token. So we have to block multiple things at multiple fronts. I can afford to take one more hit, oh wow. Okay, I can afford to take one more hit. So I know I'm gonna get more creatures, so I'm gonna block Scholar. I'm gonna 5, 6, 7, 6, just gonna raise 5. Okay, the math is hard. I kind of need an extra land. So I'm gonna just sacrifice these guys. So I'm basically trying to produce as many chump blockers as possible. That helps. So in fact, I can actually chump and still draw cards. I just have to be careful of any trample shenanigans. So I'm gonna hold back the topters. So if our opponent has a way to give trample, we lose. If he has Rabbit Bite for Zahid, we kinda lose. He used a Rabbit Bite. I'm actually curious, why did he use the Rabbit Bite on... Oh wait, we played Zahid much later, so he didn't have the option. Now he's looking for a way to deal... Okay, he's got another Vine Mare. Resolved. That's not gonna deal with it. So he's gonna... Okay, so we're gonna have to offer blocks. Okay, everything's blocked properly. So that... So unless our opponent has some... So we're gonna go into combat. Going to attack. Okay, I'm just gonna send all these guys in case he has a way to answer one. So we won the race, but that was very scary. Yeah, him not having trample was kind of decent. So, well, it's kind of interesting. I thought we lost this one for sure. Turns out, not quite yet. I still doubt we're gonna make our money's worth back, but I can't complain so much anymore. Actually, no. I take it back. I am going to complain. Our game so far has been completely dependent on not just a single card, but getting cards in the right order at the right time. Like, if we take that last situation, if for some reason we had to throw away our Topter, Zahid isn't coming down soon enough for us to race. If we didn't draw Sai, we wouldn't have enough blockers. Right now, we have a turn 1 into a turn 3. We're actually praying for a field creeper this time. So this might be the one time where we... I actually think in that case, our opponent really should not have played the Rabbit Bite so soon. He was going to kill our creatures over time anyway. He did not have to rush kill ours. It's a case of just because you can doesn't mean you should. Okay, so we didn't draw the field creeper, but we're probably gonna play Aviation Pioneer first. Heart of Kiran's. Yuck. So we're probably gonna take 4. This might actually be aggro planes. So I'm expecting... What's that? Oh, so this is really a traditional... This is a traditional vehicles deck. So we're going to... need a way to answer this guy, or else we're actually gonna lose in 4 turns. So no blocks. Sorry, give me a sec. So if we get another land, it's just another Prodigy and Tempest Djinn. If we don't get another land, it's just Tempest Djinn, but we're in a world of hurt. We could force our opponent to just have another creature, but But at least we are going. But at least we answered one threat. This might be the one case where Waternaut's actually good. Kinda. Chandra, Torch of Defiance. Okay, so that's another way to activate Heart of Kiran. But at least, so 1, 2, 3. At least it's 4 turns instead of 3. So we have that clock. The bad news is she can also activate it on her turn. So I'm gonna attack everything on Chandra. She's gonna actually spend. So we lucked out on drawing Disperse. So she's gonna crew. I'm gonna respond by bouncing. Now, so we answer both Chandra and Heart of Kiran for the time being. So, and we still have mana for Gearsmith Prodigy. So we haven't had to show our Tempest Djinn just yet. We're probably gonna see the Heart of Kiran replayed and another creature come down. So Heart of Kiran. Just gonna see another creature. Some sort of removal spell is okay too. So we're really we really could use one more land. So as it is, we kind of got lucky in getting the Disperse. So yeah, the control element is much more important. As much as I like having the Gearsmith Prodigy, as it's giving us time. So we might actually lose the Tempest Djinn. Oh, we're not gonna lose the Tempest Djinn just yet. Veteran. Okay. So we could potentially lose the game at this point. So hopefully he attacks with this one. So we go down to 5. We'll need to swing everyone at Chandra. So he's not gonna attack. I have to Waterknot. He gets to crew this in response. Yes, there's no point in me making him activate Heart of Kiran because by the time I get to cast it, it'll just become a non-creature artifact again. So let's see. If I lose Tempest Djinn, she gets this down to 1. No, let's wait a turn. It's interesting though, having to use our opponent use Unlicensed Disintegration on Gearsmith Prodigy. Well, to be fair, that's why we held back on Tempest Djinn for the longest time. We're not gonna get that luxury now. Maybe not quite. So there's Bomat Courier. Our opponent has to use some loyalty counters if she's gonna get hits in.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
So ditches another Bomat Courier. Oh, it's gonna cast Inventor's Apprentice. Sorry, still coughing a bit. So we can actually crew Heart of Kiran. Oh, it's not. He's gonna hold back. We still have. Again, this is a problem with having so many varied mana costs. I would much rather have it skewed towards one end or another. If we're going for the late game high, we wouldn't have this many high ends anyway. So let's consider this. I can't attack with Gearsmith, just gets blocked by Inventor's Apprentice. Same with Aviation Pioneer. Tempest Djinn can just get blocked by Heart of Kiran, so yeah, attack's not profitable. Opponent's gonna get to a point where he's gonna finally answer Tempest Jin. I really need that fourth land.
Yup, you're going down.
Well, we're also getting to the point where our opponent can just simply burn us out. So, okay, I will bite. Because he's actually just gonna sacrifice it then and there. He's basically saying whatever this one card is better than what he has in. Oh, does he have response? Okay, this is interesting. So Chandra's doing quite a good job number on us. Yeah, I'm expecting an unlicensed disintegration again. Fatal push. You have. Wait, he's gonna respond by triggering the. Yeah, you have to trigger the Bowman Courier first to actually get rid of Tempest Jin. So, at least our opponent was very careful with that. And has a Toolcraft Exemplar, so. We could buy one turn by befuddling. Still not gonna get through, so I'm gonna pass the turn here. Things get really bad if our opponent decides to just ultimate Chandra. That means definitely has us dead on the board, sort of. We can buy ourselves one turn with befuddle. Yeah.
There's no problem fire can't solve.
So veteran motorist again. So probably gonna take that damage. So he's gonna crew Heart of Kiran so I can bring it down, but if you control an artifact, so Prodigy blocks Exemplar. Probably just gonna throw the Aviation Pioneer in front. Okay. The Scry tool is so valuable. He's gone through like 6 cards. I think he's ditched 3 of them. So combat. Thankfully, this is not first strike, so I can't just toss. Okay, crew tree. Didn't forget. Resolve. There was no way I could befuddle his creature without him being able to crew in response. So I need to make him attack at least. So let's befuddle first. So I'm gonna block and I'm going to jump. So we finally got our 4th mana, but we have no way of answering this one, so we're gonna get hit. We can chump block. Okay. We can still chump block at least once, so let's draw a card. Please be a land. Okay. So we do have a air elemental next turn, which is only gonna chump block. So we're not conceding quite yet. We might still have something up. We do have 3 water knots. Who knows? We might get the 3rd one. Oh no. That's game. That's parting good game. Yeah. Well, that was worth a shot. So there it is. I guess I won't be. At least I don't have to do some extra runs with this now. So we've seen the deck go. It really works well if everything comes together, but the same thing can be said about any deck. It's gonna be all about how often can you get it to work together. How often can you get it to get its act together? So I'm going to switch over to the deck builder. So this is what the deck kind of looks like right now. As you can see, we got a lot of mana costs all over the place. We did cast Meteor Golem once, so achievement unlocked. Still gonna get ditched. Tempest Jin's kinda okay, but let's ditch it for now. Okay, so we're gonna first work with the with the control version, so we're gonna ditch some of the weaker cards. So Air Elemental goes, Aven Wind Mage goes. We'll keep the Aviation Pioneer for now. Befuddle goes, Diamond Mare goes. Actually, no. Let's set this standard. Diamond Mare goes to the sideboard. Disperse gets replaced with Blink, because they both kind of do the same thing. So I'm going to even bump it up to 3 copies. Let's put a 4th copy in the sideboard. Divination goes. I'm going to leave the Field Creeper and the Gearsmith Guardian here for now, but I'm going to ditch the Gilded Sentinel. Gearsmith Prodigy, I'm going to leave it in the sideboard. Riddle Master Sphinx, sideboard for now, probably going to go. Scholar of Stars, I'll leave that there. Snapping Drake's gonna go though. What was it? So 25 islands. So we definitely want more Zahids. It's a legendary, but it's probably gonna get killed easily. So I'm gonna want at least 2 of him. If you're gonna get 3, so much the better. Baral is an okay. So we're gonna make this rotation safe. So no Baral, but we're going to get Tetsuko in. So basically makes a lot of our creatures unblockable. So but not so Sai becomes unblockable, Aviation Pioneer becomes unblockable, the Topter becomes unblockable, Field Creeper becomes unblockable. So there's something to consider. We could put a Water Courser so it makes it, and with enough mana we could make it unblockable. So let's go through let's go through the colorless ones first. Let's go through all the artifacts. So most of the vehicles are not gonna fit here well. Okay, let's put in Arch of Oraska before we forget. So 2 copies down. Memorial to Genius goes in also. That's definitely good. Black Blade Reforged. If we haven't, let's see how many legendary creatures we can get. So we got 4 so far, not so great. We look Kefnet's Monument, I think it just loots, so that's not quite it. Chief of the Foundry is Kaladesh. So does everything with the word Consulate. Most of the good vehicles are also Kaladesh, so that, or Aether Revolt, so that doesn't go in also. Detection Tower, not so much. Eager Construct. Okay, Field of Ruin. We're definitely looking for a replacement for Field Creeper. 2/1, sometimes useful, but we kind of want something that is not soft to removal. I guess if we're going control route, Gleaming Barrier might be okay. Sure, it doesn't get unblockable with Tetsuko, but if our opponent manages to get rid of it, and eventually we will get the treasure back, so we still are up an artifact. So actually we will put that in. So let's just make it, let's make it 3-1 for now, just out of curiosity. Graven Abomination doesn't get in. Helm of the Host, interesting, but no. Guardians of Koilos. It helps return one of our permanents back, so that is something to consider. Juggernaut is a decent 4-drop. It's definitely better than the other one we have. Sure, it has to attack every turn, but I'll leave that on the sideboard for now. If you, of course, anyone can put Karn in. Karn is such an easy fit, but to any deck, so that's why I'm kind of avoiding it. Joyra's Familiar does make our artifacts cheaper, but we don't have any top-end artifacts we want to cast. Let's take a look at Kefnet's Monument. So, oh no, It's not looting, it's actually lockdown. This is actually interesting. We might be able to use this, but we have to consider our creature count if we do. Icy Manipulator's always been great as a way of locking things down. But I think the better lockdown options would be Thaumatic Compass and Treasure Map. Those would be the 2 drops I'd want. So, 1 copy of Mox Amber because we can. Mishra's Self-Replicator. Basically, if you cast a historic spell, pay 1 to create a token. Not so. These compasses are normal. Mirage Mirror is Amonkhet, right? Yeah, it's Amonkhet, so we're not copying Power Stone Shards anytime soon. Ornithopter is also Kaladesh. Panharmonicon's Kaladesh. So if we're looking straight at just artifacts, we're not gonna get much. So our payoffs have to be either really early, really incidental, or really good. Sky Scanner. I don't think we have anything that works with sacrificing. Servo Schematic, this one's Aether Revolt, but if you think of this one, it's basically 2 artifacts in one. If our opponent somehow decides to get rid of it, or if we have a way to sacrifice it's a 3rd artifact. So, Snare Topter, no. Sparring Constructs, Dominaria, probably not gonna play this one. So we're definitely gonna put the Thaumatic Compasses, at least 2 Thaumatic Compasses, 2 Treasure Maps. If we're playing with this many artifacts, we're definitely gonna put 1 copy of Traxos. So Universal Soul. Traveler's Amulet is Amonkhet, if I'm not mistaken. No, oh, it's Rivals. So we could use Traveler's Amulet as an early artifact drop instead of Gearsmith Prodigy. So the question is, if we're going to be casting so many artifacts, what is our payoff? So I'm looking at artifact or historic. Basically, what do we get if we paid with these guys? Sai is one way to get benefit from casting a lot of early artifacts. So the Gleaming Barrier is probably gonna, Field Creeper's gonna go, Gleaming Barrier probably go down to just 2 copies. Let's find better 2 drops. So to turn off, so it has to be blue, but says artifact. Now we're also. So what are the options? What's hinterland? Oh no, that one that just can't be blocked by artifact creatures. So that's a no. Captain's last word's a no. One with the machine. This is a payoff. What does it do? Oh yeah, draw cards equal to the highest converted mana cost among artifacts you control. Probably a no. Merchant's Dockhand would be great in the non-rotation safe version. So it's an early one too, and can search for cards over time. Padim would also fit that one. Sahili's Artistry would be one way. Well, Quicksmith Spy is one way to take advantage of artifacts. This is a very good payoff. So I guess for 3 drops we could have Sailor of Means. It generates a treasure token. Temporal Machinations. I think this one is. Oh, this is Dominaria. Return target creature to its owner's hand if you control an artifact, draw a card. But sorcery speed, so that's a bit harder to play around. Tezzeret's Ambition is... okay. But we are going to put a copy of Tezzeret. That's for sure. Antiquities War, we can use it to dig through artifacts, but first we need to see how many we actually have right now. So let's fill out the deck first. So, in terms of artifact payoffs, not much. In fact, we barely have any. We have lots of ways to generate artifacts. You can say we have ways to generate mana, but what do we do with it? Arena Ground is another sort of removal. So we need to find better. Okay, let's fix that first anyway. So we have the cheaper Ice Over. If we're gonna do this, we do need to have Icy Manipulator. So I'm gonna drop the Water Nuts for Ice Overs. I'm gonna put ice. Speaking of Ice Over, we're gonna put Icy Manipulator, and we're gonna have to kill the filter. So we do need to have at least one. Maybe let's put 2 copies in. Shame Trophy Wait, it's Treasure Mage, right? Yeah, it's a Shame Treasure Mages in Cal. Oh, no, it's not in there. Okay, so as you can see, just getting the mixing in with the artifacts sub team is very. Wait, okay, I forgot all about Diamond Mirror. That is the 2-drop creature we're looking for. Fits with Tetsuko, fits with... Okay, then let's look for some equipment. I guess I can put a single copy of Blackblade Reforged. What does Deadeye Quartermaster do? Search for equipment or vehicle card. So I could use it to tutor. Dowsing Dagger is also another equipment we can use. And the flip side's interesting, if I'm not mistaken. Doesn't let us flip from here, so... Okay, we're gonna have to look at it in Gather. Trying to remember... Okay, it basically transforms into a Black Lotus. Okay, so we don't really need that. Forebear's Blade's probably even better in this case. Because +3/+0, Vigilance and Trample, and we can attach it to another creature we control. So that might be a better equip. Well, Blackblade Reforged is not so bad in itself. Okay, sure, it's very pricey. Yeah, let's... It's reasonably cheap for our... But we don't have that many legendaries, so... Okay, Blackblade Reforged is interesting, but that's a no. Let's just replace it with... Okay, Forebear's Blade's the more reasonable one. Dagger of the Worthy, no, that's Ammon... No. Hour of Devastation. Dowsing Dagger is more of a maybe. Jousting Lance would be okay. +2/+0 and has First Strike. Equip Street. Marauding Axe is probably better. No, +2. Equip 2. Prying Blade. 1/0 creates a treasure token. Actually, none of the equipment is great, so we... Sigiled Sword of Valeron. +2/+0. This one's probably better. Gives us extra tokens. And but we're working way too hard on the... Let's just drop the equipment sub-team for now. Let's look over the wizards. Because we definitely want... Because there's a 3-man... Yeah, Exclusion Mage. This is the one we want as part of our control package. It won't help us against Vinemare, but it would help us against those Gigantomancers. So let's put in the Exclusion Mages here. So as you can see, we have a little bit of a control setup. Our big creatures though is just Traxos and Zahid. And maybe a bunch of flyers, so not so great in itself. I'm gonna drop the Gearsmith Guardian. We need a better finisher. Let's put in a copy of Nezahal. Can't be countered. Why not? So let's search also legendary. Because generally those are where the good ones are. It might also give me an excuse to put the black. Bolus's Clutches is one thing we could put in. We could also put in Jace Cunning Castaway, but that's probably too many. Naban, no. Narumehan, no. Not this deck. What's Slinvoda do? If it's kicked, return all creatures except Merfolk Kraken. 10 mana, 8/8 bounce everything? No. Unesh, Sphinx fell. Oops. Try saying that 5 times fast. Okay, so probably another Zahid then. Probably put in a cop. So we got 3 diamond mares here, 1 diamond mare here. Gearsmith Prodigies if we ever have to go aggro. Same with the Juggernaut. Riddle, Master Sphinx. Fine, we'll put it back in. Probably drop. Probably drop 1 Gleaming Barrier. In fact, I'll just drop both of them. Yeah, I want to remove that card. So probably just want to have 4 Exclusion Mages, or let's just put a copy of Bolus's Clutches here and 1 on the sideboard. Probably gonna need a lot of tap down, so let's get Time of Ice on the sideboard as well. Probably could see an argument for putting it in main board. It does cost 4, but we get to tap something down, and it doesn't untap for quite a while. Precognition Field. What does this do? Just looks for instance. Okay, that's a no. So that's so now we need to shore up our sideboard. So we're trying to avoid putting in Disallow just to make this one just to make this deck rotation safe. I probably should start with the non-rotation safe one. That would have been a bit more exciting and a lot faster. Spell Swindle's unfortunately too expensive, even if we could use the. So avoiding sensor, counterfeiting winds. No, I guess we're only gonna just put Essence Scatter and negate. Oh wait, no, syncopate. We have that option. And the nice thing is that if we probably siding it in, it means we lost the first game. Spell Pierce is unfortunately. Oh wait, this is Ixalan. We could put Spell Pierce in. That is an option. We'll just use Syncopate for now. So maybe the Diamond Mare should be a 4 off also here. And keeping the Scholar of Stars, let's just take a look at the mana base, right? Let's just analyze the deck now. We're definitely going to put in Memorials to Genius. Unfortunately. So we still have a 7 off, but that's Nezahal. So our deck is mostly 2 3s and 4s. The single 5 is for Tezzeret. So basically, these are just for our finishers. So we're hoping to draw into it. Oh yeah, we don't have any actual card draw. So that is an issue. Our only card draw is Scholar of Stars. So this is going to be annoying to search. Even with the blue filter, we're going to get a lot of cycling. Chart the Course is a good fast one. Commit to Memory, decent counter spell, I suppose. We could put that in sideboard. So we're looking for something that's not divination. Field inspection. What? Counter target spell? No. These are the ones I want, but these are not rotation safe. Illusionist Stratagem. Exile, then return and draw a card. No, that's even not. Imaginary Threats. Nope, cycling. Wait, got inspiration. Oh, this is a welcome deck. So I don't remember if this one rotates or not, so I'm gonna skip this one for now. Let's see what else we got. Kumena's Awakening. Oh, that's the enchantment I've been using. I forgot all about that. Leaf in the Dust. No, that's Amonkhet, I think. So somehow we actually don't have a decent card draw spell at this. That's at an instant. Pull from Tomorrow is some Amonkhet. Sage of Latnam is really bad. Sift is our option. Sift is our option, but I don't really because it's sorcery speed. We're looking for something instant speed. We might have to play Chart the Course because that's cheap. That's cheaper. Siren's Ruse, no, it's really it's for pirate bouncing. Spring to Mind, no, that's Tragic Lesson, no, that's Uncomfortable Chill. What does this do? Creatures your opponents control, draw a card, no. So we don't actually have a good replacement for those cards. So with that in mind, we're probably not gonna get a decent control deck anymore. Unless unless we get something new in Guilds of Ravnica. I don't honestly think people are going to run Inspiration just for the sake of it. Of course, I've been wrong before. So our card draw has been reduced to Chart the Course or Arcane Encyclopedia. So let's replace the blue filter with a colorless filter. Let's see what other Azor's. Actually, no, we don't need to draw cards so much. Treasure Map doesn't draw, but kind of goes over it. Thaumatic Compass draws us lands, though we do kind of need it. Our other option is just a single copy of Azor's Gateway, so I'll put that in. I might even drop Arcane Encyclopedia in favor of this. Now, the bad thing is, once we transform it, it just becomes a land that generates a lot of mana, and we have no outlet. It is good enough to scare people into getting rid of it before we hit. So that's one thing we can work with. No, that doesn't work. We could put Sky Scanners. Howling Golem. Or is this Tome? Draw a card and discard unless you excel it. Yeah, we'll just leave it. Yeah, we'll just use Azor's Gateway. Still need a big payoff. I guess you can use it to. We could even use it to trigger Slin Voda. But as it is, we have no real mana sink. Wait. There's a blue creature that draws cards. We can use him as a mana sink. Not Daring Saboteur. Some sort of archaeologist. A mystic archaeologist. So draw 2 cards. We can use this as a sink of sorts. Let's put two copies of the archaeologist in. Already dumped that. Let's remove Imbolus's clutches, move it to the sideboard. So Diamond Mare can go. So we need to drop another card. Pry the Scholar of Stars. So that's the fix. I might want another Ice Over. Or I could just get another Blink of an Eye. Drop this one from the sideboard. Gearsmith's a common anyway, so... So we have this one, but the bad news is, if we analyze our deck now, any cuts we make will have to be off our finishers. So right now our 3s and 4s are like 10 total, but if we look at our sideboard, 6 mana, 4 mana, 4 mana, so our cuts are gonna have to come from here. So we can't really cut anything up here. So that's gonna be interesting. So that's our, what's this called? So that's our Arcane Inventions deck. Version 2.0. Artifact Control. This one's rotation safe, so we're gonna save this one. Now we're gonna go over the... We should do it here. So... Kinda control, but it's not a very good one at that. So we'll just add the tag. I'll fix the tags later. Save the deck for now. Now let's go over the deck again. And... Okay. So let's go home. Let's go over the deck again. So you're gonna hear me copy the deck list again. So give me a second. So we're gonna build a new deck. I'm pretty sure I saved this one. Oh, okay. So delete that one because I changed. Yeah, there's a little bit of weirdness with the deck stats, but I'm still okay with it nonetheless. Okay, so now we're gonna go over the non-rotation safe version. So we're going to still stick with standard, but let's go over the good stuff first. So 2 disperse becomes 2 blink. And we're gonna put more blinks in the sideboard. I remove the air elemental, drop the Aven Wind Mage, drop the Befuddle. Let's drop the Divination because I'm going to replace it with... Actually, no, we're going... If we're gonna go Kaladesh, we're gonna go Kaladesh all the way. Glimmer of Genius. So probably about 3 copies of this should be enough. Meteor Golem goes. Sai gets to stay. Scholar goes. Snapping Drakes go. Tempest Djinn goes. Sahid 2 copies this time. Waterknot goes. So this time we're looking for really good artifacts. So something that we can take advantage of the mana that is not Aetherworks Marvel. So let's see. Consulate turret's a no, because this only deals damage to creatures. No, players. It doesn't even deal damage to creatures, so that's an out. Deadlock trap. Interesting. This is one way to control things. Dynavolt Tower, but we're not casting enough instants and sorceries. Electrostatic Pummeler. No, that's too much. Fabrication Module. This generates energy over time, but it's expensive. Multiform Wonder is okay. Gonti's Aetherheart gives us turns. So maybe not even the energy plan works. Okay, so back to hieroglyphic illumination. And I can't even spell hieroglyphic because it's in blue. And no, I spelled it correct a while ago. So let's just replace it with 3 copies of that. In fact, Zahid can just go down to a single copy because we're gonna use the much better Torrential Gear Hulk. 3 copies of that. So we're looking for decent instances source. So we definitely want this allow now. Syncopate on the sideboard, I suppose. So Gearsmith Guardian goes, but the Prodigies go to the sideboard. Gilded Sentinel goes. Riddle Master can keep these guys in for now. Diamond Mare probably sideboard. Field Creeper, actually no. Diamond Mare main board because I'm removing all the Field Creepers. Aviation Pioneer can stay. Unfortunately, the top tier Lord is in white. Efficient Construction. Cast an artifact spell, create a top tier with flying. That's one payoff. Let's keep. Experimental Aviator. When it enters the battlefield, create 2. We could use Efficient Construction as one of our payoffs. And so, wait. So we got no chief. Was that Foundry? I forgot that guy's name. Oh wait, turn off the filter because it's now colorless. So Chief of the Foundry makes our artifact creatures +1/+1. So we have a more aggro deck. We can actually make this an aggro deck. So let's drop down the torrential to 2. So Efficient Construction's probably not gonna make it here. Let's move the Gearsmiths back up. I drop Water Knot, so I kind of want Ice over. Wait, there's also Diminish, right? What's that card? It's -4, -0, right? No, -6. Okay, I'm not getting anything from there. So let's search auras that are blue. Dwindle. There you go. In fact, the Ice Over probably could be replaced with Dwindle. So actually not so much. I think Deep Freeze might actually even be better. Well, Deep Freeze is probably better in this set because because grounding our opponent's creatures is one thing. We can still attack. We can still attack in the air. Okay, so let's put some Deep Freezes here. Now we have to decide between Deep Freeze, Ice Over. Malfunction is the more expensive version. Probably water not still better in this case. Unquenchable thirst. Oh, we need deserts for this. It's interesting though. Anyway, so we'll keep deep freeze for now. So we don't have a favorable winds effect. Oh, we do. And this is Ixalan, right? Yeah, this is Ixalan. So we could make this flyer centric. So I can drop the Chief of the Foundry. We can go with favorable winds because it does the same thing, but also pumps Zahid, which we're bringing back up to 2. We can also go Tempest Jin here. So we're kind of going flyer aggro deck. So let's see, what are the other flyers? Siren Stormcaller, that's definitely one we want in. So Siren Storm Tamer. Dreamcaller Siren, we can flash this one in. Oh, this is another way to do some. Okay, so we're onto something here. So the Gearsmith Prodigy is gonna go again because we're gonna try to go with a flyer strategy. So Diamond Mare becomes our blocker in the ground, so does Aviation Pioneer. Deep Freeze becomes our effect on the ground. We're gonna drop Arcane Encyclopedia because we have enough draw spells at this point. Siren Storm Tamer. Let's actually go 4 copies of this. Let's put in 1 Dreamcaller Siren. Do I want more Pirate Sirens? So this one's not quite. And Explorers, not quite either. Slips of Desire too. Okay, so single copy of Dreamcaller Siren. This is basically our Raf Kapashen. Only blocks flyers, but on the off chance we have a Siren Storm Tamer and a Dreamcaller Siren. Actually, no. We can improve on that. So we're gonna kind of ditch. I feel bad ditching the Artifact sub-team. Because right now, Sai's not doing much. We barely have any artifacts. Actually, let's improve on that then. Sky Scanner is a flying artifact. Draws us a card. So let's kill the filters. So Hieroglyphic goes down to 2. So we still get a few. Let's move 2 and 2 in sideboard. Probably should put in Barrel now. Diamond Mare. So we're replacing the Diamond Mare as much as I don't like to. Okay, Aviation Pioneer might be too many. Riddle Master Sphinx is gonna go. So Baral comes in. We have a few counter spells, not so much. Supreme Will. Probably 2 in the sideboard. I think I'm gonna move the diamond. One Diamond Mare in, so we don't have that many artifacts now. Actually, no, we still have 5, 6, 7. So just 7 artifacts, not much. Tempest Jin's probably too many. Let's drop down to 2. Let's make it cheaper. Supreme Phantom only works in spirits. In fact, another thing we can do is we can just bump up a lot of the artifacts. We can then we can use another saga, but I don't. Okay, so Acer Glider, not much. Joy was familiar, no. Hope of Girapur. Yes, sideboard one off. Gargoyle Sentinels flying, but not. Consulate Skygate flies, but it's Defender. Ornithopter, Snaretopter's probably better. Wait, Whirler Maker could be our. Whirler Maker can be our long-term engine. So we're putting a lot of weird one-offs just to. But we're getting a flying package in. Let's see blue now. Aether Squall Ancient. Yeah, this is something we could build up energy to. Arcane Flight. Artificer's Assistant. Cast a Historic Spell, Scry 1. It's a 1/1 for 1, so it's kind of like Siren Storm Tamer. I still haven't put Curious Obsession in yet. Even Windmage, Cartouche of Knowledge, make something flying. Cloud Reader, Sphinx, Tree Force, so quite okay. Gin of Wishes is a good one. So probably a few more changes. Glintless Crane, we can use it to dig for artifacts. So this could be our 2-drop, but we really. So maybe the Zahid plan's not working out anymore. So we could just do we could do what is basically a non-rotation safe flyers deck. Seen this one before. Basically, it ran lots of flyers, Curious Obsession. I guess it kind of died down over time for some reason. Probably way too much control. So Glintness, yeah, we need more artifacts. Yeah, we can put the Kefnet in. Draw land, card make, return land. So it's kind of like card draw. So it's also cheap too. So put the Kefnet in, I get. And let's put Kefnet in the sideboard. Probably never gonna see play. Hope should also go to the sideboard. Then let's put Dream Caller Siren. Let's put 2 more copies in the sideboard. So basically what happens is if our opponent has a good number of creatures and they're not flying, we might be able to go in on a pirate team. So in fact, Sailor of Means. So Sai is not gonna get much done. So we're going around artifacts a different way. We will get stuff to tap with for Zahid, but we won't get much to work with Sai. Sailor of Means does work though with us. It's also a pirate. So that might actually go in the sideboard. Let's streamline the deck a bit. Keep the Boral, keep the favorable winds. Let's drop the Siren Storm Tamer. I don't want to. Okay, let's drop the Tempest Djinn by 1. I'm very sure you could put more. Torrential Gearhulk, this one's only because we got a full set from then. So Sailor of Means, let's drop the Supreme Wills. Let's just bump more Sailors. So this one is more of a. So this is some Arcane Inventions. Version 2.0. But it's a flyers deck. So again, this is the non-rotation safe. This one is kind of janky. Could use some, but we do have a slightly better curve, exception for the 6s. This is kind of A and B, but we do get a lot of pieces to play around until we can hit this. In fact, I might drop the favorable winds by 1 and just put in a single Curious Obsession. Then we'll fix the mana base. So 2 Arch of Oraskas, 2 Memorial to Genius. I don't think there are any good cards in the Desert Plan, so I'm gonna skip those. Field of Ruin might work, I suppose. So, okay, we're gonna analyze this deck. We're gonna save this one up. So, yep, there you go. Two decks, 1 rotation safe, 1 non-rotation safe, and that's pretty much it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you see, please don't forget to like and subscribe. As soon as I'm done with this and the last 2 of the old stock decks, we're gonna head over to the new stock decks. I probably won't revisit these decks until the rotation kicks in. A lot of things could probably change by then. So again, that's it for this episode. If you like, I really hope to hear from you guys soon. And don't be a stranger. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time.